Hi everyone, I'm Flying Scorpion, also known as Boozbaz in EVE Online, the CEO and founder of the Matari Moneymakers, a corporation in EVE that's all about flying Minmatar ships and making ISK. Welcome to our June of 2023 update. I'm going to start off by talking about our manufacturing division. I started this corporation on the promise of helping all the members grow their net worth, and indeed I will continue to do that. However, I have slowly been learning that manufacturing is a challenging thing in EVE to somehow turn it into a group activity that is profitable in a way that's fair for each individual member of the group for how much effort that they put in. It's a lot less administrative work for me to have each member who's interested in manufacturing to simply receive guidance from someone who knows what they're doing, and then for the individual member to manage their own assembly lines, taking care of their own operating expenses, and having all of their profits go directly into their own wallet, rather than having myself or the corporation serve as some sort of unnecessary middleman. The market is very efficient at managing itself. The only time it makes sense for both the industry player and the corporation to work together outside the market is when the corporation needs something at a higher volume than the producer would reasonably be able to sell on the market. Or if we were isolated in a wormhole or Pochvan or in the far reaches of Nullsec. We're not that big of a corp, and we're not isolated. Our headquarters is in Heck, which is a major trade hub of New Eden. So I was thinking about all of this, and Valkyrie said something to me that really stood out. Sometimes people like to do things for the greater good. Maybe it's their way of giving back. Maybe it gives them a sense of personal fulfillment. Maybe it's about having an important role in something bigger. So, to be fully transparent and honest with you guys, you can make more money manufacturing stuff and selling it directly on the market as an independent agent. However, if you, for whatever reason, want to build stuff on behalf of the corporation, then I'm going to lay down a framework for that to happen. Personally, I don't have the time to get straddled with corporate accounting, inventory management, making sure this person's building product X while that person's building product Y, and so on. So I need people stepping up into leadership positions to handle this stuff. I've got a very simple business plan, and if you find personal fulfillment from having a leadership role in something bigger, then you're welcome to get involved in making this happen. Here's the plan. It's pretty simple. I've created 5 divisions in the corporation. Each division will have a leader, a hanger, and a wallet assigned to it. Once a month, all of the money across all the wallet divisions will be pooled together into the master wallet. 1/3 of it will go to shareholders, 1/3 of it will get reinvested back into the divisions, and the remaining amount will be used to pay our bills, to pay our leaders, and to go into savings. Divisional leaders have a very simple job: to manage the money that's invested into their divisional wallet and to turn it into more money by the end of the month, kind of like a hedge fund manager. The top performing leader at the end of each month will receive 1 share of Matari Moneymakers and can request for me to change the name of their division. The bottom performing leader will be replaced by anyone on our waiting list who is interested in trying to become a divisional leader. To support the leaders, they'll receive guidance and tips from me on how they can grow their wallet. They can also recruit divisional officers. Officers can perform research and manufacturing jobs using blueprints and materials from inside their division's hangar. Members of a division will also have access to their own private chat channel on the Discord. With all that being said, I'd like to congratulate our first 2 divisional leaders, Manus Bandy and Jonathan Ravager. We still have room for 3 more divisional leaders, so if you're interested, let me know. Okay, the next subject is our alliance. We've started an alliance called Red Horizon Coalition. I'm going to be honest with you guys, this has happened a little bit sooner than I was ready for it, but here we are. Our alliance is meant to be for corporations living in Minmatar space, where the gas clouds in the sky are red, and that follow a not red, don't shoot it rule of engagement. Currently, it's made up of both our corporation and the 15th Fleet, which is led by Jansung Reddick. As we get to know other players in EVE Online who are members or CEOs of other corporations, we can invite them to join Red Horizon Coalition. As our alliance grows, we can use it to network with other players, to team up with them, and run content together. Apollyon has paid the bill for the alliance to get started, and that bill was 1 billion ISK. So I'm asking anyone who's willing to donate to help cover the cost. Please send your ISK to Apollyon and type into the Discord how much money you have sent. Alright, let's talk about the monthly audit. As you may know, I perform a monthly audit of the corporation, and that includes pruning low-hanging fruit from our membership tree. I've gone through about 70 members, one by one, checking my notes on them, when they've last logged into EVE, and if they've been active on the Discord. I've pruned 17 members who have either not logged into EVE or typed anything into Discord in the last 30 days. Because our requirements have been so loose, it's been very easy for people to park spies in our corporation, and I've been aware of that this whole time. We've also had a lot of people who join and then they never actually socialize with anybody, or they don't join any fleet ops. So I'm going to make an adjustment to our membership requirements to try to get more of our members actually working together as a team and make it a little bit harder for people to park their spies in our corp and get free intel on us with little effort. Up until now, we've required our members to log into the character at least once per month. Moving forward, we're going to require members to show up to at least 3 fleet ops per month. I'm also going to be adjusting the wording of our Be Active on Discord requirement. Moving forward, the wording will be type something into Discord at least once per month. That's because people can join voice comms when I'm offline, and I'm completely unaware of their activity on Discord. So if you're a member and you're active on voice comms, just remember to type something into the Discord chat at least once a month to create a track record of your activity. Okay, culture and expected behavior. I've avoided creating a fully fleshed out document that details the expected behavior of our members because I know that I'm guilty of bad behavior from time to time, and policing behavior is like opening a can of worms. It can get really complicated really fast. But I knew that eventually this subject would need to be talked about, so here we are. Matari Moneymakers is meant to be a place where we embrace continuous growth. For example, growing our net worth or growing in our expertise. In order for that to happen, this needs to be a place where it's okay to admit failures and to take risks without people giving you shit for it. The difference between constructive criticism and giving someone shit is nuanced. It's all about tonality, choice of wording, timing, and so on. To keep it short, don't be a dick about it. One of the things that some people tend to do when someone on their team makes a mistake is to jump to the conclusion that it's not just a mistake, but an inherent character flaw in the person. However, when they make a mistake, it's always for a good reason. For example, when someone else is late for an event, it's because they're lazy, stupid, unmotivated, uncoordinated, they don't care, or they're just an asshole. But when I'm late for something, it's always for a good reason, or it's somebody else's fault. So try not to get into this mindset. If someone makes a mistake, maybe instead of assuming negative intent or that they have a fundamental character flaw, try attributing it to something more circumstantial. If anyone in the corporation is giving someone else shit for making a mistake, let me know. Also, this is not the place for talking about politics or religion or sensitive subjects like child molestation or calling people retards or any shit like that. I understand that sometimes conversations may naturally slide into sensitive subjects, but please moderate yourself. And if you find the conversation going in that direction, please steer the conversation back to EVE Online. Okay, corporation events. We're still in the recruitment and training period for our corp. We're still fleshing out our ranks. We're still waiting for people to skill up into the corporation's Tech 2 Fleet Doctrine. Our new bros are still gaining competency in PvP and PvE, and we're still experimenting with a variety of things that we can do in EVE Online. Until we have 15 pilots in Tech 2 Corporation Fleet Doctrine cruisers, ready to form up for a fleet, Our bread and butter is going to be content that is readily available to a smattering of newbies in Tech 1 ships, such as factional warfare, missions, anomalies, cosmic signatures, abyssals, day trips into wormholes, and so on. This will likely continue for at least a couple months. It depends upon how fast people follow the corporate skill plan and how many veteran players we recruit when the Viridian expansion is released. Speaking of Viridian, I'm going to be busy with recruiting people when the expansion is released, and I need your help. I was hosting fleets at 1 o'clock Eve time every day for like 2.5 months, and slowly over time I was getting more and more burnt out and struggling to get enough sleep for these events. I figure that it's not particularly fun for you guys to show up to an event and to be following a leader whose energy level is like a 1 out of 10. Plus, it's just hard for me to do that every day for months on end. So I need help from you guys in creating content and hosting fleets. The standard operating procedure is really simple. You schedule the op on the calendar, you send a ping out on the Discord about 15 to 30 minutes before your fleet begins. Because we're going to require our members to show up to at least 3 fleet ops per month, we're going to need a way to track that. So far, I think the most simple and easy solution for this is for our leaders to copy and paste their fleet into a Google spreadsheet. Okay, Tech 2 Fleet Doctrine. I've created new titles to help distinguish our members of our corporation that can fly Tech 2 Minmatar ships from those that can't. Specifically, we're talking about Tech 2 cruisers, battle cruisers, and battleships, all Minmatar. If you want to receive one or more of these 3 titles, contact me. I'll need to see proof that you can fly these ships with Tech 2 modules in the high slots. Because we don't do ESI background checks on our members, you can either screen share to prove you have the skills, or undock in a Tech 2 ship and use me as target practice with T2 modules in the high slots. Not only will it distinguish you from members who cannot fly T2 Minmatar ships, but it will help me to understand just how close we are to being ready to run higher level content. Viridian is approaching later this month, and I've been laying down more of the groundwork in preparation for running higher level content. Previously, I was planning for us to start higher level content exactly 2 months after the Viridian expansion, but that's rather inflexible. So instead, it's simply going to be down to this. If we have enough players who can fly the right ships, then we'll run higher level content. To help with tracking this, I've started a new standard operating procedure. When I start and schedule a fleet op that requires higher skill points, I'm going to create threads on the Discord where members can X up in the thread with what they can fly, days in advance. This gives us the opportunity to coordinate and plan these events ahead of time rather than just showing up at 1 o'clock Eve time and figuring things out on the fly, and consequently starting the fleet op like an hour and a half later. I really would like it if we could all be ready to go, undock, and get moving right at the start of the event, and that's likely going to require us to spend more time communicating and preparing for these higher level fleets in these threads on the Discord, days in advance before the fleets begin. I'd like to give a shout out to 2 members of the corporation, starting off with Salty Beans. Salty Beans is one of our newest recruit. He just started playing EVE Online less than a month ago, and he's been very good at listening and following the advice from leadership. And you know what? It's paid off. He's already grown his net worth by over 1 billion ISK. It took me a long time to make my first billion ISK in EVE Online, and that's a huge achievement. I'm very proud of his progress, and it's evident that if you follow the advice of our leadership, you can actually make some pretty good ISK. A special shout out to Apollyon. He's been a member of the corporation for around 80 days. He's put up structures for us to use. He's offered free hauling services. He's helped us to get our alliance up and running. He ran some mission fleets, which helped me to get caught up on sleep, which I direly needed, so thank you for that. He's been a stable and instrumental member of the corporation for almost 3 months now. So, Apollyon, I want to thank you for your dedication and support. I will be awarding you 1 share of the corporation. Apollyon is now our very first shareholder, and as such, he is entitled to a share's worth of all dividend payouts forever. For as long as Matari Moneymakers continues to exist and generates profits, our shareholders will receive dividend payouts unless you guys elect a new CEO who stops doing that. Anyways, congratulations, Apollyon. Okay, so that's it. Thank you to everyone who's here listening to this live. Thank you to everyone who's watching this on YouTube. And if you're interested in joining the Matari Moneymakers, check us out in game or join the Discord. The link will be in the description below the video. See you next time. Bye.